That shortly before midnight Friday, the police control room received a report of a shooting incident at a business establishment situated in Hunters, Grand Bahama. Preliminary reports revealed that the victim was approached by a lone gunman who discharged a weapon in his direction, shooting him multiple times about the body. EMS personnel attended the scene and found no signs of life. The victim was transported to the Random Memorial Hospital where he was examined and pronounced dead. This matter is under active investigations. Back here in the capital, an adult male shot in Coral Harbor this afternoon is nursing gunshot wounds in hospital. According to police, shortly after 3 p.m. today, the victim and his friends were standing outside of a business plaza when the occupants of a black colored Jeep discharged a firearm in their direction. The victim received gunshot injuries to his upper body. He was taken to hospital via private vehicle. His condition is not known at this time. Active police investigations continue. However, anyone with information on this incident that can help police locate the suspects or suspects is asked to contact 919-911 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. Also from police, a 71-year-old man is in serious condition in hospital tonight after he was stabbed by a male known to him. The incident occurred just after noon today in Pride Estates number 3. What we can tell you is that the victim, while at his residence, was stabbed multiple times about the body. The victim was taken to hospital where he remains in serious condition. Investigations are ongoing. Over in Exuma, or rather in Salina Point, we're receiving reports of a traffic fatality there that occurred this afternoon. We can tell you the incident unfolded around 3:30. Once more details become available, we will update you in a later newscast. Now, over in Exuma, police are busy there investigating a major drug bust. Preliminary reports indicate that shortly before 6 p.m., Drug Enforcement Unit officers were tipped off and searched the area of the public dump where the drugs were discovered and seized. The drugs have an estimated street value of $200,000. No arrests were made in connection with the discovery, and investigations continue. The first annual Senior Police Commanders Conclave coming to a close this weekend. A 3-day event sought to review crime-fighting techniques and strategize moving forward. The police heads went into meetings concerned over the high murder rate of 118, the 388 robberies now on record, and the prevalent use of illegal weapons in criminal matters. Also of concern is the high rate of stolen vehicles that Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez assures will be given top priority.
Double our efforts on stolen vehicles. Their vehicles are being used as getaway cars in murders and armed robberies, compounding the crime problem. Every scene you will hear a gray note, a black Honda, and it almost like a script, and that these vehicles continue to be stolen and used in the commission of a crime. These vehicles are stolen. Where are they going? How are they being licensed or resold? Someone knows something. They are at someone's house, and we want to encourage the public to say something if you see or suspect, and we will investigate.
Another primary issue is rendering a high level of customer service.
And one of the urgency in terms of customer service to the Bahamian people. You know, you hear a lot of things, they go into the station or they make complaint, they are not getting no feedback from that. We are going to fix that. Are we going to fix that? Are we going to continue our press with officers out there on the ground, that saturated patrol? You know, they always complain that they're not seeing sufficient officers out there in the community. We're going to fix that. And as I indicated, the minister is providing us with the tools. We're talking about vehicles, we're talking about other accessories to go with this to try to bring calm and safety within the community.
Hi, this is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dane with a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas. We continue to monitor this area in the southwest Caribbean Sea. It still has a very low chance of developing over the next several days, and if it happens, it will take place somewhere in this yellow area. But elsewhere in the tropics, tropical cyclone development is not anticipated. This has been a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas.
Still to come in the weekend edition, the nation's fly carrier spreading its wings. We'll tell you how after the break.
Almost every journey starts with your car. We spend most of the early stages of our lives anticipating getting our first set of wheels. When that moment finally comes, let AID be there for all your auto needs. Make it yours by accessorizing, maintaining, and repairing your car with AID. Whether you're a professional mechanic, a recent graduate, a full-time mom, or an I can fix that kind of guy, or if you're completely clueless about what your car needs, AID will assist in providing a large variety of auto parts, a diagnostic center, and great customer service. For all life's auto journeys, we're here. AID, all you really need and more.
Hey, baby, you back? Man, it's so good to be home. All I do is eat, shop, and party.
Well, I know you left well of your money over there. I hope you left COVID there too. Anyway, you could get your COVID test for free.
COVID test for what?
Yes, there is rapid antigen COVID tests for anyone who travel who wants to get one.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with me. I ain't sick. What I need a COVID test for?
You don't have to have symptoms. We just want to be sure that the only thing you brought back with you is what is inside that suitcase.
You say it free?
You do not even have to make an appointment. And guess what? You have your results back within 15 minutes.
Wait, you say it quick, convenient, and it free? Thanks. Let me go find one of these testing sites.
Message is brought to you by PAHO WHO and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, there's a growing demand for travel to the Bahamas, and officials of the national flag carrier are hoping to cash in on that. This as Bahamas Air officials foreshadow future plans to expand the airline's horizons. The preview comes as officials successfully launched a new international route between Raleigh, North Carolina and Freeport, Grand Bahama. Speaking to our news team at Gate C21 in Raleigh-Durham, Bahamas Air Deputy Managing Director Prince Storr says the company is looking to both expand its fleet and venture into new routes, chief among them states further up in the U.S. and further down in the Caribbean.
We're in discussions with destinations like Antigua. We're looking at Jamaica. As you know, we do annual flights into Trinidad and Tobago. We may expand on that. But when we go into the route, the conferences right now is like Bahamas Air is the talk of the town. Everybody is saying, hey, we want to go to the Bahamas. We want Bahamas Air to make that connection. So the opportunities are there.
The Atlantis Paradise Island Resort is boasting high occupancy numbers into the next few weeks. President and Managing Director Audrey Oswald with this update as the resort readies itself to host its Battle for Atlantis.
We're full right now, and full going into next week and straight through the holidays, through Christmas into January. So business has really been strong. It's bounced back to 2019 levels, which we're quite pleased with.
She also shared more about Atlantis' latest edition specifically for the kids.
that our visitors are coming with much younger children, so we took the opportunity to provide a whole new structure that has a lot more features and also is better equipped to handle the younger children with a lot of the splash pads and the spray zones and all for kids that aren't quite ready for the slides or to climb the stairs.
The first phase, a cruise port. The second, a luxury residential resort. But while the developers behind Long Island's $250 million project anticipate a phase 3, they've not yet decided what this will include.
Looking at other opportunities, I got to finish phase 1 and phase 2 first before I even think about phase 3. So our goal, as you see the project and Councilor Knowles and a lot of the Long Islanders know, there's really no infrastructure down there whatsoever.
Solar and wind, part of the plan to create an environmentally friendly project, Still, given the anticipated volume of visitors, the cruise port is expected to attract. What's the plan for solid waste, wastewater, storm management, and the like?
Working with an engineering firm right now to be able to get us some of the studies and some of the things that we need. Being that, let me show you on a bigger scale here, we have the land to be able to try to facilitate and generate our own electricity, our own water, and manage our water treatment facility on a large scale. Part of it is partnering up with the right engineering firm who have previous experience.
An estimated 62 million persons are living with diabetes in the Americas, of which the Bahamas is a part. And officials of the Pan American Health Organization say those numbers have more than tripled in 3 decades. But what do the Bahamas' numbers look like? A focus as November is observed as Diabetes Month.
In 2019, that a survey that was done here in the Bahamas, so just before COVID, it actually found that 12% of the adult Bahamian population between 18 to 69 years of age were diabetic, 12%. 7% additionally were pre-diabetic, but nearly a quarter never had their blood sugar levels tested.
Country representative for the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Eldana Bassan, suggesting that 3 years later, those numbers are much higher, considering most people are diagnosed once the disease advances. And while PAHO encourages countries throughout the region to take action, personal responsibility is key.
By maintaining a healthy weight, healthy body weight, achieve it, maintain it, to have regular physical exercise, that is at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise most days of the week. Eat a healthy diet, particularly avoiding or minimizing sugars and saturated fats, and avoid tobacco use.
The most common types of diabetes are type 1, commonly known as juvenile or insulin-dependent diabetes, where an individual is unable to produce the insulin needed to break down sugars. Type 2 diabetes is tied to one's diet. As for what the country can do to fight the disease, here's what Dr. Bassan suggests.
Screening for diabetes in the population is important because then we're able to capture persons early in the disease and not later on when they've gone on to have severe complications. And also monitoring the population at risk, people who are overweight, people who smoke, and so forth. We also want to improve the capacity of the health services to be able to diagnose diabetes, and preferably early. And amongst the people who are diagnosed, the people who live with diabetes, constant monitoring to try to delay complications or prevent.
That's not the only thing to keep in mind.
The country needs to have a good information system so that they can collect good data and information so that they can monitor what's happening in the country. They can have diabetes under surveillance and make sure that they have the adequate response to what they're seeing.
As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all of our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. Sports is after the break.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
NBA League Pass is the coolest way to watch the hottest game there is. When threes rain down and superstars heat up. When clutch jumpers splash and your team is fire. You'll be there for up to 40 games a week. Any way you want to watch. NBA League Pass. Order now.
Nobody can talk about your business or special event like you can. Do you want a way to bring your message to a large audience? You need a live ZNS radio interview. 5 minutes of airtime to let listeners know directly from you all about your company, product, or upcoming event. And now, for a limited time only, get 5 interviews for 25% off or 10 interviews for 35% off. Call the ZNS sales office today, 502-3800, and get on the radio.
The Sports Report is brought to you by Hoop Fest in Paradise, December 16th to the 17th at the Kendall G. Lysick Gym. The best in U.S. and Bahamian high school basketball. Heading into the final day of competition, several Bahamian sailors, including a pair, advanced to this weekend's Gold Fleet. Patrick Tomlinson and Zane Monroe earned their Gold Fleet qualification to lead the 19-member Bahamian team. Tomlinson had finishes of 22nd, 20th, 16th, 3rd, and 11th in the qualifying races. Monroe's first 3 races were in the yellow group with finishes of 13th, 25th, and 20th in the red group. He finished 4th and 24th in his final 2 races. Now up to news time, Monroe is sitting in the 35th overall position, followed closely by Tomlinson in 41st, and Craig Ferguson would be the 3rd Bahamian sailor rounding out the top 60, currently sitting in the 59th spot. We will have the final results from the competition for you in tomorrow's Sportscast. Back on the land, though, we caught up with the Vice President of the International Optimist Dinghy Association, who gave us her assessment of the week of competition.
Oh, it's been a phenomenal week. We couldn't be happier. This is a place with great conditions all the time, and this week has been especially good because we've had all types of conditions. We had low wind for the little ones, and then we had a couple of days with a bit more wind, like yesterday, which was a bit challenging for the little ones, but great for the older ones. So it has been a mix, and we're quite happy that it has been pretty fair.
She is also impressed with the growth of the Bahamian sailors.
Bahamian sailors have improved quite a lot. We're very happy because we've seen the fleet not only increase in size, which is really important to increase the base so that your pyramid is bigger, but also the level. I mean, I am really happy and enthusiastic about the program because you can really see the difference in just a few years, how they have improved. They are now, really fighting the top.
The ping pong tables were out today at the AF Adderley Gymnasium as the Bahamas Table Tennis Federation hosted a tournament in conjunction with the Embassy of the People's Republic of China. The Chinese Embassy donating some much-needed equipment to the Federation in order to help grow the sport here at home.
Table tennis is a premier sport in the People's Republic. They approached us because we put on tournaments. All right. They came, they provided the seed money, we provided the players. We have a program whereby we're in the schools already, and they made promises to augment that and support that going forward. We have a lot of interest. It's a game that's played pretty much by everyone, but we're trying to organize it on a national level right now. We're starting in Providence. But as we used to have in the past, the distant past, we used to have leagues from Grand Bahama and from other islands too. Whenever they would come to play cucumber basketball, there was always a table tennis tournament on the side for the kids who were not on those teams. So,
as for today's turnout,
Turnout is as we expected, but we've had a number of no-shows, and kids couldn't make it, I guess, because of transportation problems, the rest of that. So we're getting a lot of disappointment. We got kids calling us to say we're not here, or we can't make it because basically our parents can't bring us. So we're gonna have to work on that. That's something we foresaw, but not to this magnitude. So we have probably about 10 to 20% of the kids who are supposed to be here who simply can't get here. So we have to work on that.
Rakia Jackson scored 26 points and Jordan Horston added 12 as the number 11 Tennessee Lady Vols with Rutgers 94-54 earlier today in the opening game of the Battle for Atlanta's women's basketball tournament. Off to their first 1-2 start since the 1981-82 season, the Lady Vols made 13 of their first 21 shots and had doubled up the Scarlet Knights at 38-19 midway through the second. Tournament action resuming tomorrow. Action also underway at the Balmar Convention Center. The Balmar Hoops College Basketball Tournament is now in full swing. Look at some of the scores from Friday night. UCF would defeat Oklahoma State in overtime 60-56. TJ Kelly would lead the Knights with 18. In the late game, Santa Clara would take down DePaul 69-61, led by 21 points from Brandon Podomitsky. UCF and Santa Clara will face off in the Bahamas Championship game on Sunday at 7 p.m. live on CBS. The consolation game will be played at 4:30. And that's been Look at Your Sports on this Saturday. I'll check on weather when we return. The Sports Report is brought to you by Hoop Fest in Paradise, December 16th to the 17th at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gym. The best in U.S. and Bahamian high school basketball.
The #1 high school basketball showcase in America is back for another year. Last year, we brought you guys the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest in Dallas, Texas, the Red River Hoop Fest in Texarkana, and the Holiday Hoop Fest in Salt Lake City, Utah. Our series has brought through some elite-level talent by the likes of Trae Young, NBA All-Star, Marcus Smart, De'Aaron Fox, and the list goes on and on. This year, we're super excited to let you guys know we're adding a new stop to the Hoop Fest basketball series. I hope you guys are ready, because we're bringing some of the top high school basketball players in America right here to the Nassau, Bahamas for the Hoop Fest in Paradise. 4 of the top high school teams in the U.S. will be right here competing against each other. When? December 16th and 17th. You can expect some sharp shooting, high flying, and straight up gritty basketball at this year's Hoop Fest in Paradise. December 16th and 17th, 4 of the top high school teams in America will be right here in Nassau, Bahamas. Will you be here?
Experience the Qatar World Cup with Carlos Montero. And through our social networks, become a protagonist of this exciting experience. From the field, only on Telesur.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
Acting Director for Local Government Neil Campbell has been busy rolling out the vision that he and the Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Island Affairs, Clay Sweeting, both had for local government when they served as practitioners. According to Campbell, many changes have already taken place since the appointment of a 16-member review committee. These changes bringing an air of excitement to the department.
I think we are all excited about it. We have two teams, one for the Northern Bahamas and one for the Central and Southern Bahamas. They've been going to the various districts and everything else, speaking with the persons, giving those questions and even advancing questions that we never even thought that may have been asked. And so far, it seemed to be energized. And I believe we're going to make a definite impact within those local communities.
The budget for several aspects of local government has been improved. Campbell says he believes a major win for local government practitioners will be when they are able to generate their own funds.
A lot of times, persons say you come up with a lot of ideas, but the ideas, in actuality, need to have some funding behind it. So he's looking at special funding as well, where they'll have some revenue-generating powers, where they could actually realize all of these ideas that they may have. Different islands have different concerns. Drainage, some may say fire engine, some will look at community centers. Some will just improve the surroundings. So once that comes into play, I assume a lot of the problems we had or would now exist will be no more.
A year later as acting director, Campbell says he is proud of the achievements and improvements he sees across the islands, and especially proud of the structure being put in place.
There is now an organizational chart within the department where everyone really and truly knows what their roles are and what is really expected of them. Before, we adopted a lot of things that caused a lot of crossover, a lot of confusion, and sometimes it caused some sort of friction. So now, with bringing the organizational chart, we now have that structure where everybody knows where we're at, what the responsibilities are.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Georgio Bain.
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jimenita. We are under partly cloudy skies. Temperature at 81 degrees. The relative humidity 77%. We have easterly winds at 11 miles per hour. The barometric pressure at 1,018.4 millibars. That's 30.06 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, 77 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Turkey, and Marshall, Babaco. The Berry Islands also at 77 degrees. Alice-Town, Bimini, 80 degrees. 76 in Harbor Island, Rock Sandy, Lutra, Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space at Andros, and Freshwick and Central Andros, all at 78 degrees. We're picking up 79s in Otterstown, Canal, San Salvador, and Rum Key. Georgetown, Exuma at 85 degrees, 83 in Rygat Island, Clarence, San Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megawan, 81, Acklands, 81, Matthewtown, Inago, 82, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight in the northwestern islands, northeasterly winds at 12 to 18 knots, wave height 3 to 6 feet, and that constitutes a caution flag. Low tide takes place tonight at 10:15 for the central and southeastern islands. The winds easterly at 12 to 18 knots. Wave height also 3 to 6 feet. So we're maintaining caution flags for the northwest, central, and southeastern Bahamas. And then tomorrow, Sunday, in the northwestern islands, we will see an increase in the winds, 15 to 25 knots. Wave heights building 5 to 8 feet over the ocean. Advisories is in place for your boaters. Low tide will take place at 10:49 tomorrow morning, with the high tide at 4:43 in the afternoon. In the central and southeastern island, that persistent easterly flow at 12 to 18 knots, and the wave height 3 to 6 feet. We'll keep that caution flag in place. And then your satellite pictures showing that frontal boundary now still across the northwestern portions of the central Bahamas, and that will provide 1 or 2 passing showers during the course of the night and tomorrow as that front continues to back up towards the north. Partly cloudy conditions, a couple of showers in the forecast. Low temperature just around 74 degrees. And tomorrow we're looking at partly sunny, a bit on the breezy side with isolated showers developing in the afternoon hours. 84 degrees for your high temperature. And the extended weather forecast is going to get a little wet as we head into Monday because of that front backing up over the northwest Bahamas. Things clear up a bit on Tuesday. Isolated showers return on Wednesday, but we'll have a nice cool down as we head into the weekend when another frontal system is expected to push through late on Friday, early on Saturday, and we will see temperatures in the low 60s during the nighttime. So this will perhaps be the first time you'll be able to pull out those sweaters. Temperature-wise, though, we're going to keep you in the low to mid 80s for the next several days, taking you right into Friday. Wouldn't be until Saturday on the weekend, as we promised you, when we will see daytime temperatures in the 70s. Anita.
Thanks, Basil. And that will end the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching and good night.